builder is now live. Streaming miniatures.
Hello, hello, hello. Oh, YouTube chat's up. Don't know exactly how long I'll be on today. I at least want to get the base paint and camouflage done on this. How you doing, Ghost? I think you're the only one in here so far. We just started. Shorter. Still make that a lot shorter. Give me a second here.
Fallen Ghost said, yeah, I'm first for a change. Doing good. Hope you are.
Yeah, I'm alright. Just a bit worn out from yesterday. Had a long day at work and then a long night of fireworks going off. Or I'd have been on sooner. There. I can always repaint those by hand if I have to. Alright, let's start pre-shading.
A fallen ghost said I didn't sleep much, so I'm fighting it now.
Well, I slept okay. But it was that kind of hard sleep that you get from just having had a long day that started a lot earlier than it should have. Hey, gotta make our money somehow.
A following ghost said those are cool little planes, even more so after I found out the history.
Yep. And then the A10 was designed to do the same job, only bigger. Some people call this the mini A10. I don't think it was ever an official designation from it, but if you look at the features, it really does feel like one. It wasn't anti-tank, it was strictly close air. But you got a 7.62 minigun in the nose, 8 weapon stations for what is essentially a very small aircraft. Even the F-16 only has 6 common weapon stations, and 4 of those are for missiles. Yes, you can put pylons and bombs on the stations normally reserved for the fuel tanks, but we usually don't. I'm just trying to make this little thing as quick a build as possible. I'm not too worried about, you know, perfect seam filling or anything like that. I leveled them out, cleaned them up, made sure I put the pieces together as close as I could.
Said I thought it was great the upgraded engines would melt the tarmac if they sat very long.
Yeah. And they were loud little buggers, too. When I was at Shepherd, you'd hear the tweets flying all the time, which is basically the training version of this. And the Monogram kit's a really nice kit, though. The only thing that really dates it is the raised panel lines. Outside of that, it goes together really easily. Most of the detailing is where it should be.
Following Ghost said, isn't that what made them great? All pilots knew how to fly it because it was a trainer.
Oh, it wasn't a trainer originally, it became one. What made it great is that it was low and slow. And for its size, it could pack a lot of heat. You wouldn't expect something this small to be coming at you with 2 gun pods, 2 Mark 82s, and 2 tanks full of napalm with fuel tanks. And that's just one of the loadouts. It could have unguided Zuni rockets, other rocket pods. You could put Mark 82s on all the stations. You know, whatever the mission called for. Kinda. If this turns out well enough, I might look into doing a Sky Raider. Clean off my needle real quick. I'm sorry if I'm speaking a little quietly, I'm just really just worn out from yesterday. Not that I partied hard or anything, just it was a long day for me. I wish I didn't have to work. Then again, doesn't everybody?
wish I could work.
I meant more that I didn't have to work yesterday. But I got holiday pay, so that makes up for it a little bit. I don't know how I'm gonna make the pre-shading work with the camouflage. I'll find a way. But I was thinking about how the last stream I said I don't think I ever finished building this.
Ghost said I need to do some work with my airbrush. Brand new and new compressor, never been plugged in.
Well, just grab yourself some cardboard and some old paint and get to practicing. Because I think when I was building this the first time around, it was right before I joined up. And it's one of those projects that I never finished, and it just got thrown by the wayside and then eventually discarded. I know I started building this kit once before, but I never finished it from what I can remember. And I think that's why. Because I got it, you know, later in my teenage years. And it's honestly just a casualty of growing up. Because the kit didn't come out till 91 or 92. Which would put it right in that time frame of me being a junior, senior in high school. You know what happens then. Yeah, but each airbrush is a little different. It's got its own quirks, its own tolerance differences between the needle and the nozzle, and the trigger, different spring resistance. Each one's always a little bit different. You can probably find that same compressor from its original manufacturer for a lot cheaper. A lot of the Iwata compressors I've noticed are rebranded other manufacturers. Like there's one that they sold years ago, looked like a silver doghouse. That was originally marketed by testers back in the day, which means it was sold by somebody else as well. So, yeah, do a little homework before you buy the brand name. You might be surprised. Like the purple compressor I used before I got this one was rebranded by Iwata. They just painted it silver, but it's the exact same compressor. serial number and everything. And the one I bought was marketed as a cake decorating compressor. So I know people are quick to slather on the praise for Iwata.
At Dragonworks said after Vietnam, my dad re-upped with the Battle Creek, Michigan AMG. They had O2A Skymasters then, and a few years later transitioned to the A37BS as well standard. At Fallen Ghost said it was free.
There you go. But yeah, this is going to be in the standard gray belly, green, and brown on top. Yeah, the Monogram kit back in the day only came with Vietnam-era decals. Later reissues by Revell and Revell Germany included the gunship gray scheme when it was out at Osan in Korea. And a couple other different unit markings. The markings on this one match the 72nd Scale Academy kit. It's the same airframe. Now, typical Southeast Asia camo was camouflage gray. I find the Tester's camouflage gray is a bit too warm, so I'm using just RLM 63 light gray. It's still a warmer gray, but it's a bit less brown tone. And I might throw a little white in it just to see if I could vary it up a little bit. And I think the wraparound scheme, when they added the gray, became known as the Euro 1 scheme.
At Dragonworks said I have both the Monogram and Trumpeter kits. I've compared them side by side, and the only difference is the panel lines, raised versus engraved.
Something still seems off on the nose. I don't know if it's the shape or like the curvature of it in this area. Something seems off. Or they messed up the fuel drogue. I remember just looking at it going, that doesn't seem right. Plus $15 versus what I think the Trumpeter one goes for about 50 now.
Dragonworks said at the Busy Builder, do you need any spare parts? I have a scrap monogram kit.
Nope, this had everything. It was still sealed in the bags when I got it. At most, I might have to take a little polish to the canopy because it rattled around in the box for so long, but outside of that, no missing parts. Oh, hold on. Wife's calling.
At Dragonworks said groovy.
I gotta go, my son's car stalled, and he's in the middle of an intersection somewhere. We're trying to find out where, so, yep.